You better not jump. Oh, you better not jump. So long as she doesn't go fishing, I'm okay with it. One day we're gonna come and find her in the tank swimming with the fishes. You better not eat my tang, okay? Is she gonna? Oh, okay, yeah, she is figuring it out. Hello and welcome back everyone to Amrazul TV. This is the 45-month update of the redsea reefer 250. This is also the special COVID-19 update. So I hope you're all staying safe in these crazy times. I'm sure this will pass, and 6 months or a year from now we're going to be laughing about this. In the meantime, do enjoy your tanks. I, like many of us, kind of forced to stay at home, work from home, and that has meant that I'm kind of paying a little bit more attention to my tank. All right, so I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the tank. For the most part, no major changes. If you're noticing, there is one less wrasse in my tank. So I had 5 wrasses before. You see 4 of them now. You have the 8-line flame, no, not flame wrasse, 8-line flasher wrasse, and then the McCosker flasher wrasse. Actually, sorry, this is a carpenter flasher wrasse. And then I have the Moyer leopard wrasse in the right corner here, and then the yellowtail tamarin wrasse. I also had well, I still have, I also had a pinstripe flasher wrasse in this tank. And just over the last month or so, I'm noticing that he was getting a little bit beat up. I couldn't figure out who's doing the beating up, but he was like, you know, he had like a big chunk of his tail missing, and you know, something happened to him. So rather than just kind of keep him in this tank and have him kind of getting abused, I did manage to catch him really easily, and I put him on my tank in the basement, the small little Evo tank. And ever since I moved him there, his fin is totally recovered and healed, and he's looking great. But I don't think I'm gonna add him back to this tank. So unfortunately, I think someone is obviously like attacking him, and I just don't want to like keep seeing him in bad shape. So I've decided to essentially find a new home for the pintail fairy wrasse. Rainbow Trout was his name. So he's downstairs doing well, and I'm just looking for a place that will take him and give him a good home. Otherwise, the only kind of major change that has happened to the tank is I went through like a bit of an alkalinity swing. So I don't really know what happened. Essentially, I mean, I have my Trident working to measure my alkalinity and control 2-part dosing, and that's been working really well. And I think there was one weekend where I forgot to the alkalinity reagents ran out, and it coincided with a change in my alk consumption. So I didn't change the reagent. It was dosing based on the levels that were normal for my tank about a month ago. But just the demand changed, and my alkalinity dropped quite a bit. It went from 8.5 to about 7.9 or 7.6. So, you know, it wasn't a huge drop, but it was a bit to kind of unsettle the tank. So you'll see that there was One coral that didn't respond really well, the shockaholic. It's still kind of half alive, half dead, but it didn't do well. My Red Sea skimmer overflowed twice in the past month, and both times the culprit was a little bit of salt deposits that would build inside this inlet, and it essentially clogged the air coming down from this end. So the fix was really simple. You just kind of take this part out and clean it. And I'm just curious, if you have this skimmer, let me know if this issue is really common. I'm still dosing 2-part. The automatic water change system is working fine. I'm still growing, you can't really see it here, but I'm still growing chaeto in my fuge. Yeah, things are fairly stable. All right, let's start the top-down tour. The reef raft Mr. Pac-Man, growing really well. And off to the side here is, this is the turquoise tenuis, again growing really well. These little white bits are from me fragging the colony. Here I have a green slimer. One of my favorite frags right now is the Hawkins Ishinada with the very vibrant turquoise body and kind of blue tips. This is the Jolt. Not really happy with this frag. Still kind of looking boring and is not kind of encrusting or growing at all. I debated about moving its position, but I don't want to kind of stress it out because it seems stressed out as to begin with. Behind it here is one frag that I am really happy about is this Applejack. It's encrusting really well, and I think the color is very promising. This is golden jaw dropper, I believe. Doesn't look very golden, kind of looks boring. And then here I had the atomic fireball, but I actually put the blueberry wine back there. I moved the atomic fireball in the other side of the tank just to kind of give it, it wasn't coloring out really well, so I'm hoping that the change will stimulate some growth. I'm still having issues with algae. You see, like there's bits here and there. I tried to siphon it, but it keeps coming back. Here is the pink Cadillac. You can see the colors are a little bit, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not. I think this also suffered a little bit in with the Alk screen, but yeah, it's not looking very bad. Behind the pink Cadillac, we have the bonsai, and beside the pink Cadillac, we have the Cali Tort, both looking really good. So here's the shockaholic. You see what I mean? How it's browned out. Most of it is browned out. And there's still a few green tips, but it's not looking very happy. Now the shockaholic for some reason kind of oscillates. A month looks really good, and then a month later it browns out again, and then several months it colors up and it looks good, and then it browns again. And I'm not sure whether this is just because it's a wild colony, and some wild colonies are just not totally happy in a reef tank, or perhaps they're just kind of too sensitive. But yeah, overall I'm not kind of happy with how up and down the shockaholic is. All right, looking backwards into the tank, here is Marvin the Martian. It's growing really well. I love the green polyps and the blue tips. Again, I apologize for the wrasses. This is the reef raft rainbow loom. Super bright here. I think it definitely likes the high par in the top. And where do we go here? This is a reef raft pot of gold Millie. It's encrusting and it's got some good polyp extension, so I'm hoping it will color up. And then we have on the bottom here a major laser. I really like the red polyps on this one, and the color is very pretty as well. Here we have the reef, no, not reef raft. This is Jason Fox Anacropora and the Jason Fox Flame Fox. This colony also kind of paled a little bit with the elk's wing. Those white bits are sand that the leopard wrasse as well as the yellow-tailed Tamarind wrasse, they like to kind of pick at the sand, and they create kind of mini sandstorms, especially around this area where they sleep. So there's always bits of sand all over my acroporas here. And then here's the other frag of the rainbow loom. You can see this spot is not as kind of bright. So I think with the rainbow loom, it definitely needs a little bit more power. Here is the electric Miyagi tort. That white spot actually was just an accumulation of sand from the wrasses, but the colony, the colors are pretty spectacular in this one. And then here is the atomic firebomb. This kind of appears like a strawberry shortcake, but it's not. It wasn't doing really well on the other side of the tank, so I'm hoping that this change will kind of help it color up a bit. You see the algae in the back. Then one of my sea urchins actually passed away. Whoa, do you guys see that? Wow, look at that. Look at that. The 8-line wrasse. The 8-line flashing wrasse is doing its dance. Isn't he spectacular? Wow. Okay, let's see if I could capture it a little bit better. Where did he go? He's going to come back. Yeah, he's going to come back. He's going to come back. Is he going to do it? Yeah, there he is. Wow, check this out, guys. Wow, he is so spectacular when he does his flash. Wow, beautiful fish. Whoa, look at that. I literally spent like a couple of hours once tried to kind of take a video, not a video of this, but actually to take a picture of this, but I just could never get him. He would do it, but I just could never get him like all in focus. But he is super spectacular. Yeah, anyway, I'm so glad I got this guy. Wow, the colors are amazing. Okay, little distraction here. Oh yeah, and I have a frag pack, Amber Azul Arc, pretty much like a frag of every single one of my acroporas that's going out to a local reefer. And here's my other sea urchin. I really like these blue tuxedo sea urchins. All right, that's it for the top-down tour. Here's a shot of a lawnmower blenny. He's kind of nice and fat. We call him Kenny the Blenny. He's usually shy, but he's been getting better with kind of coming out when I'm around. I think he was scared to death of me for the first few months in the tank. He's kind of I gotta watch out when I turn my MP10s that I don't decapitate Kenny. Like, oh my god, you've killed Kenny. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you all have enough supplies for your reef tank and for yourself to kind of last during these uncertain times. I just placed an order for salt. So one thing that I'll be doing in the future is wow, look at the wrasse. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by the wrasse. He's just spectacular. Yeah, so here he goes again. Look at that. Wow, he's putting on a show for us. All right. Yeah, so one thing that I'm going to be doing for this tank is I'm almost done with the last batch of tropic moraine salt. And I know somebody has, actually I think several people requested that I try reef crystals next. So that's what I'm actually going to be doing. So I placed an online order for a big box of reef crystals. That's Instant Ocean's reef crystals, and I'll be slowly switching over to reef crystals, just like I did with the tropic moraine, and I'll be taking pictures, and we'll have another kind of experiment to see how I guess right now this is tropic moraine pro reef, and we'll see how it compares to Instant Ocean reef crystals. Okay, that's it. I hope you are all staying safe, and see you around. Have a good one.